Hey guys, I'm Sally. I'm one of the Emerald ambassadors that helps run this page, and today we are going to be talking about the secret code of success, chapter 8. It is amazing. We talked about chapter 9 as well. It is in a separate video. Did not actually press record or something glitched with my computer. So we're going to talk about this again real quick, just you and me, to make sure that all of your teams who could not be present on the Zoom today are able to hear the big deal that fear of success is. Even if you think that sounds crazy, why would I be scared of being successful? I promise you, when we break this down, you will definitely be hearing some things that are like, oh, I kind of do that. Fear of success is definitely something that I have struggled with, and once you dive into this with me, you will kind of see why, and I'm excited. We talked about a lot of incredible things, so I'm going to try and remember what was discussed the first time we went through this a few minutes ago so that I can relay it back to you. Okay, so in fear of success, people are worried about, if I become too successful, what does that mean? What is that going to change about my life? What am I then going to have to do? What will the responsibilities be in that case? Who is it going to impact, either positively or negatively? So you guys, I love how he broke this down. He says, who are you protecting? Number one, who are you protecting? In your lack of success, in you not wanting to rise to the top of this company, in Plexus, in you saying, you know what, I just don't think I need to be a diamond. I don't think I need to make that much money. I don't think I need to drive a Lexus. I don't think I need a trip to Hawaii. Who are you protecting with those thoughts? Are you protecting your spouse? This is sometimes a very visual thing, sometimes a very subconscious thing. Your spouse may be the breadwinner. Maybe you're a stay-at-home mom, or maybe they just have this great career that they love, or you just know, gosh, they just work really hard and they don't make a whole lot of money. And if I can do this from home and make all this money, it's really going to diminish the time he spends away from home or what he brings to the table, or she. So are you trying to protect your spouse, whether consciously or subconsciously, by not allowing yourself to fully succeed and go all the way in life or in business? You guys, this is such a hard place to be in. So don't hear me saying like, that's dumb, you shouldn't do that. That's your marriage. A lot of times this is a big deal. You don't want them to feel like they are not valued. You don't want to demasculinize. I said that wrong, but however you say that word. You don't want that to be taken from them. But you guys, is your spouse finding value in the money that they bring home? Is your spouse finding value in the fact that they are gone and have to work hard and come home because they are providing for their family? Is your spouse finding value in the fact that he can buy you things or buy you presents or have a big house because he works so hard? That is another issue that needs to be addressed. Your success does not take away from anyone else's success, but for sure not your family, not your spouse. It benefits our family when we succeed, when we are happy in life, when we are fully successful, when our paychecks are growing. It benefits everybody, okay? If your spouse is feeling those things, or if you are fearing that your spouse would fear those things, you need to have a shareholder meeting. You need to talk to that person and say, this is what I want to do. I want to go all the way with this because I feel like it's something that God has put in front of us, and I think it's going to bless our family. I want you on board with me with this. It does not take away from this, but what if you're providing for our family in this way? What if this money can go to pay off our debt? What if this money could be put in savings for our retirement one day, and you don't have to worry about staying in this job that you hate? You can find another job that has less benefits because we can be saving our own money. There are so many positive things that can come from extra income that can actually save your marriage. You guys, there is a statistic running around that literally, I don't know the exact number, so I'm not going to say it, but so many marriages could be saved by just earning an extra $100 a month. That is so sad, you guys. Money affects everything that you let it affect. It can affect it positively or it can affect it negatively. Money is not inherently bad. We have the power of positive or negative reactions when it comes to money, when it comes into our hands. So this is where, as Christians, we need to have that open hand mentality. Everything comes from the Lord. He can give, he can take it away. Do what you will with it, Lord. If you're using this to bless, please help us not be hardened and not, don't let it turn us into money hungry, greedy people. Let us still love on people. Let us learn how to steward that blessing well to affect our family, to provide for our family, to provide for others, and to give and to bless other people. Those are the questions and things that you need to be talking about. If you have this protective mentality of, I can't earn too much or I can't be too successful because it will take away from someone else. Don't protect them. All it's doing is holding you back, and they're not able to benefit from it either. Another one we talked about was, are you trying to protect your kids? I can't make too much money because I don't want my kids to be spoiled brats. If I can afford to pay for their college, they're not going to have to work all through college, and that built mental fortitude and strength in me because I had to bust my butt. Well, you also didn't get any sleep, and you probably could have gotten better grades and actually paid attention in class if you weren't having to work a full-time job while you were also worried about your school. So are you really protecting them? Not really. It just means you got to be more intentional with your parenting. Those who have much is expected. I get that. It's harder to have. That's why Jesus says, literally, it is harder for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven, because it means we have more decisions that have to be made, and we have to make those decisions well. You have the ability to start relying on yourself instead of relying on the Lord. That is something that I have definitely struggled with in this journey from being a missionary, and we'll talk about that in a second. Having to still rely on the Lord when technically we feel like we are providing for ourselves with this business. That is never a thing. Everything comes from the Lord. He is providing for us in this opportunity. So you are not protecting your kids by struggling. Okay, they don't have to be at the school of hard knocks to have a successful, well-rounded personality and life. There are plenty of incredible people who are nice and wonderful and helpful and bless others that have grown up with abundance or plenty instead of lack. Are you trying to protect your job or your reputation? Well, I can't be too successful with this because people at my job will notice and then they'll get fired. So you'd rather stay at a job where you work 50 hours a week for minimum wage, or haven't gotten a promotion in so many years, or are constantly dumped on, have very little benefits other than health and a 401k that they don't even match. But you don't want to lose that, because why? I think losing that would be pretty awesome if you were able to be fully successful and free in your life. Time. All of these things are so important, and they are not coming back to us, guys. Every moment is fleeting. So are you trying to protect your job by not being successful in this business? Let's rethink that. Why? That's silly. Are you trying to protect your reputation? And this is where this is something that I have struggled with. Our family is in ministry. We're worship leaders. We also were on the mission field for 2.5 years in Africa. You guys, I used to live in a tent, like legitimately a tent. Our family lived in a tent. It did have furniture in it, but a tent for the better part of 2 years, okay? If I allowed myself to, can you imagine the thoughts that I would be thinking of? What the heck are people thinking of me now? I left Africa. I left, of course, knowing God called me out of that place and called us into ministry here, but what people could be thinking. You left ministering to a third world country, providing people with water, leading Bible studies, sitting on the ground in the bush, living in a tent, relying on the Lord, being a missionary, and now you're driving a Lexus, and now you're making a 6-figure income, and now you get your nails done, and now, holy cow, you guys. If I was trying to protect that reputation, all that would give me was a poverty mindset, and I would not be beneficial to anybody here, because I would be worried about what everyone else was thinking instead of looking at what God has given me and called me to and said, what can I do with this? What are you asking me to do with this that you have given me? Okay? There's a difference in trying to protect your reputation versus trying to gain the approval of other people, which is basically what that is. Okay, the next part of fear of success is, who are you punishing? Y'all, this is not necessarily a wheelhouse in my personality. I'm more of the protecting, like, gain approval type thing. But my husband, he is an 8 on the Enneagram, like, challenger. He's a 7 first and then an 8. But that challenger mentality of, like, I'll show you, or, you know, I'm going to punish everybody because I'm unhappy or I can't do this. So who are you punishing? Hopefully not in this team, but there may be someone watching this video who you have an upline who is what we would like to call a check collector. They don't do nothing. And you're thinking, well, if I'm super successful, if I go gold, if I go senior gold, they're not doing anything and they're going to make money off of me. So I don't need to make that money because I don't want them to get even more money, and they don't know me. They're not helping me. Let's just think about that for a second. So you are going to punish yourself by living and staying in that place of lack, not allowing the provision to be made for your family, for you, the happiness, the accolades, whatever fills your cup, from being successful, because this person may or may not be collecting a check. If they're not qualified, they're probably not collecting a check anyway. May or may not be collecting a check, and may not even be worried about it. So you're thinking, haha, I'll show them, and they're not even giving it 1 or 2 hoots. Y'all, that is D-U-M-B. That is dumb. Don't do that to yourself. Don't think you're going to punish someone else. It's your life. Don't punish yourself by thinking you're going to hurt someone else. Obviously, let's love people, let's have grace for people and not hurt them anyway, but this mentality is not hurting anybody but you. It's holding you back from being successful, from being fully happy, from being fully beneficial to people, and to be able to bless others, okay? Your parents, he talked about that, like, well, my parents never gave me this when I was growing up, so I'm not going to have a lot of money so that I don't have to take care of them and give them things that they never gave me. That, again, it's kind of outside my wheelhouse of thinking as a Christian, but I realize subconsciously a lot of these things pop up. It's not that you're just like a mean person and you want to like hate on everybody, but mentally we're thinking, oh man, yeah, that's tough. Kids, are you punishing your kids? I didn't have that when I grew up, so you don't get a car either. You're going to have to drive that old jalopy out there. Well, you guys, what if the old jalopy's brakes go out and your kid gets in an accident? That's silly, okay? We parent well through the circumstance that we're in, whether that's abundance or lack. Don't punish your kids just because you didn't have. Love them and be thankful when you have abundance, and teach them how to be grateful for what they have, right? So you're not punishing your kids, you're punishing everybody. You're punishing yourself. You're not allowing that, because it doesn't mean that they will be a bad person or that it's not fair because I didn't have that when I grew up. Like, let's work through that mentally. Maybe some counseling is needed. That I'll show you mentality can be a positive thing in your life, or it can be a negative thing. I'll show you, when people tell you you can't do something, when people say, oh, plexus, yeah, those things don't work. I'll show you I can be successful because God brought me to this, and I'm going to do what it takes to meet him there and have this success. And it is possible for me, and I will show you. That kind of grit and mental fortitude is wonderful. But the I'll show you that says, oh yeah, I'll show you. You think you can take advantage of me? I'm just going to sit back and do nothing, and you're not going to collect any kind of checks. Well, neither are you. Okay. The third thing in fear of success, who are you trying to please? This is a big deal, you guys. Who are you trying to please in your success or in your lack of success, in what's holding you back? Basically what it comes down to is a fear of disapproval, or trying to gain approval from other people. It is a question of perfectionism versus settling for mediocrity. Who are you trying to please and why? So let's look at the who. Are you trying to please your parents, your boss, your spouse, Facebook world, okay? All of these friends that we think are paying attention to everything we post when really nobody cares, right? Who are you trying to please? Why are you trying to please them? And in what way? Some people have this, perfectionism mentality of, I need to do this well so that people will love me. I need to do this and say yes to everything, which obviously we talk about saying no in chapter 9, right? Because if I'm not valuable, they're going to get rid of me. Because if I don't do this for him, he might leave me. Because if, then something negative is going to happen. And so you overload yourself, and you try and do everything meticulously and perfectly. And you guys, if you do that to yourself, not only will you always feel less than enough, but you are going to disappoint people. It is the nature. People are going to disappoint you, and you are going to disappoint some people. It's okay. You need to drop that right now. The only person you need to be working to gain the approval of is someone who already loves you unconditionally because they created you. It is someone named Jesus Christ who loves you no matter what. Okay? If you are in Christ Jesus, he loves you. He doesn't love that you show up 2 hours early to work and bust your tail and don't get a raise. He doesn't love you because you say yes to too many things. He doesn't love you because you did this so well, even though you stayed up till 2 a.m. and can't keep your eyes open and haven't been able to love on your kids or your family. He loves you because you're you. So live in that. Stop trying to gain approval from people that don't even approve or disapprove of you. It's like the FDA. Oh, you're not FDA approved? No, well, they don't even pay attention to us. We're not approved or disapproved by the FDA. No one's approving or disapproving you. There is no scale or tick mark on your back that says, yes, you are a valuable person today. Good job. You can stay and we'll keep you for tomorrow. You're putting that on yourself. And if you are in a work environment where someone is putting that on you, I would strongly suggest that you leave that environment or relationship, okay? So that perfectionism versus mediocrity. This is something that sounds so weird to people, but you guys, this is something that I have struggled with in different areas in my life and have found that there is not shame in this because other people are struggling with it too. Mediocrity and settling for having less and being less because you don't want to be too good, too pretty. You don't want to sing too well because then everyone's going to alienate you and hate you and be jealous of you. You don't want to get the promotion because then you're going to be left out of all of the happy hours and all the invitations and your friends aren't going to like you. You don't want to do too well in this area because other people aren't doing well in that area, and that will separate you from them, and they're going to think that you think you're awesome. They're going to think that you hung the moon or that you are better than us now because you make more money than us. Y'all, if you are surrounded with people that cannot be happy for you and your success and in your giftings and in your talents and see what a valuable person you are because God has given that to you or that you have worked hard, then you need to find some new friends and you need to say, I can't care about that. I just can't. Y'all, I have allowed so many different things to hold me back in different areas of my life for this reason, because I didn't want to be weird. I didn't want to be the oddball out. I didn't want to get all of the solos and youth choir or at school or whatever because I saw people roll their eyes when my name got called. And I wanted friends. I wanted people to like me. That is not a reason to do and to not do anything. Y'all, if God has gifted you with something, if God has gifted you even with an opportunity of something, do not let the fear of a man's approval or disapproval of you hold you back from the call of God that he has placed on your life. Do not let it. No. Okay? Perfectionism, mediocrity, both of those things come from people pleasing instead of God pleasing. We need to be focused on the fact that we serve a loving, incredible God who gives us and blesses us with things, and we can step up to the plate and meet him there and see the life of abundance and the life of blessing that we not only can get, but that we can give, okay? So I have talked for way too long, and I got to go pick up Skylar from school, but in this book, at the end of the chapter, there are so many great next action things. List 3 things that you can do in the next 7 days to stop trying to protect, Stop trying to punish and stop trying to please people in regards to your success, to your happiness, to living the life that you feel like is best for you or best for your family or that God is calling you to. And the affirmations at the end of these chapters are incredible. So I want you to look at them, really focus on the answers to these questions that you need to ask yourself. Why did I stop trying to please people by holding myself back? Because I realized that it wasn't working anyway. All that I was holding myself back was myself, and my friends would be happy for me if I'm successful. Why am I allowed to be and to do and to have exactly what I want on this earth, exactly what I am passionate about, exactly what would help my family and make us happy? Why am I allowed to have those things? Because they're not bad, because God's going to help me steward it well. Whatever the answers are, I really want you guys to focus on them and to be and do and allow yourself to have these opportunities. And again, we don't just take them, we work for them, and we are integrous in that. But do not hold yourself back. Do not pump the brakes in your life from a fear of success. That is something that I have had a great epiphany of, and has very much helped me in this regard, that it's okay to be a little bit awesome. It doesn't mean that you're a jerk. It doesn't mean that you are going to be alienated. It doesn't mean any of that. It means that you've been given a gift and that you need to now steward it well and make some wise decisions and love people with your abundance, if that's where God is calling you. So I love you guys. I hope that this video was not too long-winded and that you're able to take a lot of great things from it. Please read this book, The Secret Code of Success by Noah St. John. It is wonderful for all aspects of life, not just business, but in finding a way to release yourself from what is holding you back in your personal life and in your success. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you later.